All right. Take 3. Kristen asked a question about lifting, about getting stronger, right? She's following build, and so she is trying to get a little bit stronger each week. She comes back and repeats exercises, and she was asking on her 5th set, she didn't get the last rep. She didn't get the 5th rep of her 5th set, and is wondering if she can write that number down, because she's trying to get stronger. So she's trying to incrementally increase weight on the bar, so she's getting stronger, right? So the answer to this is complicated, right? There's lots of variables, and so we're going to try to nail down some of the reasons for things and what's happening, right? Rachel gave an answer to the question, and lots of what she was saying had to do with the energy, right? Usually if you cannot do an exercise, it's because you don't have the strength to do the exercise, or you don't have the energy to do the exercise. Okay, those are 2 very different mechanisms when we're talking about strength training in particular, right? So in Kristen's case, she had done on her 4th set fourth set she got all 5 set reps, right? She got them all, and she got them all, okay? And when she did some other stuff, because she's doing build in between her sets of the exercise, and she came back for the next set and she couldn't get all 5. So we know for sure that it's not a strength issue, right? She's already done it a bunch of times, okay? So we can narrow it down to she didn't have enough energy is the reason, okay? Now let's break down why she didn't have enough energy. So for one, she's working out early in the morning. Generally, morning workouts suffer because you haven't been eating food all day long, right? Even if you wake up and eat some sort of breakfast, you've still been fasting for however long since you ate dinner. And generally, that's probably, 8 hours you've been fasting. And during that time, you're still burning calories. Your body is still burning glycogen and you're still alive, right? The only time you're not burning calories is when you die. Now, being asleep and stuff, you're not burning as many calories as you are when you're active, but you are still burning calories, which is why people wake up from sleeping and their blood sugar is really low, right? It's the same thing that's happening to you when you do a morning workout. So there are a few things we can do if you're doing a 5 a.m. workout, some sort of pre-workout shake can help a lot. We want it to be a shake because it's lighter and your body will digest it. Something heavy is just gonna have even more negative effects, right? Second reason why she may not have had the energy is she didn't wait long enough in between sets in order for her body to rejuvenate itself enough to do the 5th rep again. So I realize that when we're doing build, I've put a time limit on things because we want your heart rate to be elevated slightly, right? And so because we're elevating your heart rate, sorry, my arm is getting tired. In between sets, your body needs time to recover, to reset from the exercise. And the heavier the weights get, the more time you need. The more male you are, generally, the more time you need. And each individual is just going to need a different varying amounts of time, right? And I get that I am not allowing you to take however much time as you need, but we have some wiggle room when we're doing build as far as that goes. But when we're doing build, we're not necessarily trying to maximize strength only. We're also trying to get your heart rate up so you're burning more calories than normal, right? And so build, because of that dynamic, is not the absolute best way to maximize strength gains. If that is much more what your focus is to be, then we do more of a barbell club style, right, where you have lots of time in between sets to get all of the reps that you need. Now, the third reason that you may not be it goes right along with that, but it's slightly different, right? So when your body goes through this process called glycolysis, where it is turning glycogen into ATP, your body burns ATP as energy, right? The body's energy source is ATP. Everything gets turned into ATP in order for your body to oxidize it and burn it off, right? So the more ATP that your body has, the more energy you have, the more you're able to continue doing exercise before your body uses different fuel sources, okay? There is a substance called creatine that's naturally in our bodies also. It's found in meats primarily, but you can also supplement with creatine. What creatine does is it binds with the byproduct. So when your body uses ATP for energy, whenever you do anything, it is burned ATP, okay? The byproduct, what's left over from burning ATP, is ADP. What creatine will do is link back up with ADP, turn it back into ATP, so your body can burn it as energy again. So if you have higher levels of creatine in your system, then your body is able to recreate ATP again without going the lengthy process of glycolysis. Right, I'm saying that wrong. But that creatine phosphate cycle is faster than breaking down glycogen and that pathway that your body needs to go through to create energy. So if your creatine levels are low because they're just naturally low, or you don't eat meat, you're someone who doesn't eat enough meat or abstains from it altogether, you're not going to have adequate amounts of creatine. And so the reason that we rest is because we need your body to recuperate from the exercise. And the more creatine you have, the faster your body is able to recuperate from the exercise. So creatine in real life, the way that affects us is that in between reps, in between sets, our bodies will recuperate faster. We have higher levels of creatine. So those are the three big parts as to why you would not be able to get a rep based on not having enough energy for it, right? And we didn't even go down the rabbit hole of it not being strong enough to do, right? But in Kristen, in your case, those are where we kind of are going to tackle where we're coming from. Now, you're still doing build. So getting extra rest isn't necessarily going to be something you're able to do. So then we need to maximize the regeneration of energy. And whether that's you've eaten a solid dinner if you're working out in the morning and having some sort of pre-workout shake that is going to give your body more energy, right? Or if we're supplementing, making sure that your creatine levels are there so that you can get those extra reps. That's how we solve the problem of your last set not getting the last rep.